Hey Aries, welcome to the Forgiving Tarot. This is your end of July 2025 reading for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and or Venus signs. Check out your placements to get a message that most resonates with you. I'm not telling you what to do. The Oracle's not telling you what to do. Ultimately, you have free will. Therefore, you make the best decision for you and those involved. If you're cross-watching or you yourself, Aries, feel that the roles are in the reverse, please reverse them. Take what applies and leave what doesn't. It's a general reading, not a private reading. So it may resonate, may not resonate. Please be aware of that. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and donating. It is greatly appreciated. All right, as I'm shuffling, I saw the Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Right now, you might be focused on your home environment, family, just your own security and stability, really feeling at ease with that environment or building that. I think there's a major focus there. All right, let's see what you have. Haha. Aries with the Emperor. That is your overall energy. So there is a focus on self. Maybe you're focusing on things that you can control, what you can take action in, what it is that you can, again, hey Joey, anything that you can focus on. Currently you have the Knight of Swords. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. Have it in your chart. Doesn't have to be. This is a card of taking quick action. Let's see. Three of Swords is the challenge. So there might be a disappointing situation, heartbreak situation that you're dealing with that's kind of difficult. Because now you have the Two of Swords. All right, there's a lot of air coming out. There might be a situation where you feel like you're at a stalemate, or perhaps there is lack of communication or no communication at all with this Two of Swords. But currently with this Knight of Swords, if this is not you, this is somebody that you're dealing with. This Knight of Swords seems like this energy of, I need to rush in. I need to do it right now. This is something that's not really thought out. It's kind of like impulsive, like the Knight of Wands, but how do I explain it without giving the same definition as the Knight of Wands? Let's just continue going. You have the Four of Cups in the past. A sense of dissatisfaction, maybe even feeling rejected. On your mind, Six of Swords. Wow. For some of you, you're very much in your head, or there's some sort of communication that you want to let out, or that's happening with all these swords being here. So with the Six of Swords on your mind, I feel like this is moving on to calmer waters. This is an energy of like, I just want to leave this stuff in the past. Hold on, I'm trying to calculate the cards. Yeah, bringing peace to a situation, or making peace with something, taking a break from something. I don't feel like it's taking a break. I feel like it's more just wanting some sort of peace. Eight of Pentacles is your outcome. So something that you're focused or working on. All right. Let's see what this Emperor is. Why is the Emperor here for Aries? Okay, Queen of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy with this Queen of Cups. I feel like this is somebody who has an open heart, who is ready for something that's, for some of you, this is about a relationship. Like, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this commitment, or I'm wanting this commitment, whether male or female. There's a sense of, for some of you, this is what you're working on attaining more security and stability, more control over things that you can control in your life, control over yourself, like what it is that you can do for yourself. That will help you attain this emotional fulfillment. It's almost like preparing yourself or your space or your energy for something healthy to come in, is what it seems like to me. What is this Knight of Swords? the Lovers, Gemini, the Two of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. Okay, so this in particular, I feel like with two cards about choosing, making a choice, there's something here about a connection that might have been a little bit on the up and down. Maybe there is some sort of sorrow there, perhaps a yearning missing. Maybe there was a loss because of the Five of Cups being here. Maybe somebody had to make a choice. For some of you, you want to get out of this feeling of sadness or this feeling of, I'm really wanting this. I feel sad. This is like wanting to get out of that with the Knight of Swords. Eight of Cups. Why is the Three of Swords the challenge? Ace of Swords, truth, clarity. Two of Wands, decision or choice. And the Star card, healing, happiness, wish fulfillment. There's almost like, and then a Three of Swords with that Ace of Swords, there's a Two of Swords, which is the card of the foundation. There's something here where it seems like you're almost stuck, is what it seems like to me. Like a stuck energy where either you're wanting some sort of clarity or there was some sort of clarity, and you're... Two of Wands is about making a decision. Like you see the overall picture. I feel like you see, there's something very clear to you and you see where your happiness is. Like, not that it has to be in something particular, but there's almost like a plan, something that you've envisioned. And currently with the Three of Swords being the challenge, I feel like either it's just not going according to plan, or it's just leaving you in a place of feeling disappointed, sad, heartbroken. And I feel like this is what you want to get out of. You want to feel secure. For some of you, it's with a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I just saw the King of Pentacles. Why is the Two of Swords here? Speaking of the devil. Oh, now we have the King of Wands. And the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, there almost seems to be this blocked energy. Could there be multiple people involved? Perhaps. I'm not really seeing it that way. But the foundation is being clarified by somebody who is taking charge, who's, yes, I'm ready for this. I have a plan for this. I'm committed to this. I will put my effort and energy into this Ten of Pentacles, whether this is something that's here or something that you are trying to attain, trying to build. Ten of Pentacles, family, legacy, long-term commitment, long-term loyalty, something that has roots, that stands the test of time. But in the foundation, somebody is blocked with this Two of Swords. Or there's a lack of clarity or something like this, or there's a decision that needs to be made. What is the Four of Cups in the past? For some of you, this might have to do with family members. There could be that there's no communication, or there's an issue with communicating. There could be like you can't agree to disagree. Someone's behavior could be leaving you feeling like you're just up and down constantly. The Empress, the Five of Wands, and the Judgment. Yeah, something in the past just seemed like your idea was, this is what I want to do, or I want to feel comfortable in this, or I want to grow in this, whatever. There's something here that I almost feel like there was a certainty, but there was something that blocked it, whether it was, again, inability to agree to disagree. Maybe there was drama. Maybe there was competition. Maybe there was, I don't know, some sort of issues, conflict. And then the Judgment, an opportunity. But you felt in the past a sense of dissatisfaction or a sense of rejection. Maybe somebody was cold. I just saw the King of Swords, that's why I said that. Why is the Six of Swords here on your mind? Six of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Devil. Capricorn energy. What is this toxicity, though? And then the Nine of Cups is at the bottom of the deck. So this can indicate to me some sort of addiction. Maybe you felt like you were feeding a monster. Because Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles, this is something going in the right direction. Either an equal give and take or just giving to the situation. And then the Devil card. So you're giving to something that's toxic. You're giving to something that maybe you're heavily tied to, something that doesn't make you feel free, an addiction, an obsession, codependency, I don't know, something like this. Or maybe it's just simply Capricorn. I'm doing the sign of Aries, not doing personal readings right now. The Death card, Scorpio, the King of Cups, more Scorpio, the Three of Cups. Why is the Three of Cups here? Somebody could be avoiding communication. There might be an issue with somebody's friends, lifestyle. Maybe there is a third party situation. I also feel like there is some sort of struggle. Like, I don't know if it's struggle to believe something. Somebody doesn't trust something, someone. I feel like this is a strong connection because you have the Six of Swords, Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles. You have the Lover's card. All of these are tied to the Lover's card. We're just missing the Six of Cups. You have the Fool, the Seven of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups. I feel like your outcome here is you're definitely going to put this time and energy and investment into whatever it is that is making you feel content, or what makes you feel happy, what brings you some sort of joy with this Nine of Cups here. Strength, Three of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, Sun card. Could be a Leo also. This almost seems like a back and forth because it seems like a holding back. Holding back, but then, okay, taking action. This is going to work out. Move quickly, communicate. I feel like there will be some sort of communication if that's what you're looking for. Maybe even a repair. The Tower, the Nine of Swords, the Ace of Wands. Yeah. Because something might have happened all of a sudden or fallen apart and it has left somebody feeling stressed out. But with this Ace of Wands, there is some sort of new beginning. But I feel like it's something that might be, I don't know if I want to say repetitive, Because at the bottom of the deck, you have the 10 of Wands, and that's something that's a heavy burden or putting in a lot of effort to something. And 10 of Wands, Ace of Wands, there's a 9 of Wands there. That's somebody who's feeling exhausted, but it is also a card of perseverance. For some of you, there might be an option with new love. You might have other options, but I feel like ultimately you or somebody leaves something behind because what they're looking for is a soulmate connection, or what you're looking for is that. Something committed. Further along the line, there might be an apology. I don't even know if by that time you're even going to care. I also feel like this time right now is a time to work on investing on what it is that does make you feel happy with this 9 of Cups. Because the Fool card, this is your outcome is taking a leap of faith on what makes you feel happy, on what makes you feel secure, what it is that you have to do to have just a new beginning in general. You could be feeling like something is like you're carrying a heavy weight, or someone is. Feeling left out in the cold. For some of you, there's something here in regards to money, maybe getting money. Maybe you're working hard. For some of you, something happened at work. Maybe there's some sort of legal things going on. I don't know, something like, oh, you got hurt at work and now you're getting compensated for it. Yeah. I also feel like you shift your focus to something that's much more sustainable, as opposed to things that leave you feeling confused or emotionally overwhelmed, because you've made some sort of choice, or somebody makes a choice here to work on something that is much more sustainable, something that is more secure. Let's take out an oracle card. I felt like this was not the best reading ever. Not that it wasn't a good message. It just seems like, I'm not sure if I explained it right. Let's see. Maybe the oracle card will help. So let's take out, for advice and clarity, for Aries. What is the advice and clarity? I love these cards, by the way. Advice and clarity for Aries. Well, that was quick. Rejection and trickery. Jesus Christ. And I don't mean to use the Lord's name in vain. So let's start with rejection. If I could find it. Okay. The artist is summoned for jury duty, but they won't use him. He doesn't fit their concept of what a juror should be. He paints pictures no one understands. He lives alone. They want somebody who will put himself in the other guy's place, but he'll never do that. He doesn't get mixed up with anyone or anything. They honor his individuality when they invite him, yet when he appears, they reject it by not using him. You don't have to be on the inside track. Be true to yourself and you will not be unhappy. Rejection is spirit's protection. Am I working with or against my environment? What is the purpose of my present solitude? Keywords are protection, exclusion, development, others' approval, unsupportive environment, working alone, arrival of a teacher. Hold on, there's more. You no longer need to prove yourself. This is about understanding who you are and what you have created. Ivory allows others into your life. Choose wisely. Okay, so there might be other things that are coming into your life, which I feel like, yes. For some of you, what it is that you dealt with, because then you have the Emperor come out. What it is you dealt with was more not to make you suffer necessarily, even though it might have. But no, it did, because you had the Three of Swords. It did. And whatever this was, I'm not even going to say it was a lesson. It was just more showing you where your focus needed to be. Not that your focus couldn't be, let's say it's about a relationship. Not that your focus couldn't be on a relationship. But there was something here that it wasn't allowing you to truly have this sense of freedom. No, I'm not explaining it right. Aries, I feel like the message, this rejection, you or somebody you're dealing with, take it as it resonates, need to be in control of your own life. What it is that you can control, your own actions and behaviors, your own thoughts, what you do in your everyday life. These are things that you control. Maybe you have a plan for something and you're not really focused on that, and that is what you need to control, as opposed to what's happening externally. Like, no, I want this to happen like this. No, I need this person to be like this. No, this needs to go in this way. And although you may be well-meaning, it's not really helping you, because there's almost like a more of a focus on everything else as opposed to just you. I'm going to give you an example. When, let's say you're a person who has this anxious attachment style, and normally people like that will attract an individual who has an avoidant attachment style. And there's a message here for both. There's something here to learn from both. Because when it's balanced, when you have an anxious attachment style, a part of it has good qualities, but a part of it doesn't, because it's a little more on the extreme, and that needs to be balanced, much like the avoidant. They're a little too extreme on the avoidant side. They need to be more balanced. So somewhere in the middle. I feel like, Aries, you're on some sort of extreme side, and everything that's going on that seems like rejection is really just trying to push you into that middle line. And it could be that you're like, no, it needs to be like this. Such Aries energy. No, it needs to be like this in this extreme, because everything feels good in this extreme, and we can keep going and we can keep it like that. No, there needs to be some sort of balance, because it's just not going to function that way. You can't, you could say, I'm going to drive 100 miles an hour. I'm going to get to my destination faster. Yeah, true, but there's also other things to take into play. Hey, Greg. There's other things to take into play, because if you're going to go 100 miles an hour, now there's a possibility of you crashing into someone. Not that you're not a good driver, you probably are. But Aries, we hate the slow drivers. So you're probably hyper vigilant and you see what's going on, but you can't take into other people's stupidities, right? So there might be some dumb person on the road and they do something Like they crash into you and you're like, and if you were just going a little bit slower, they would have like crashed into the divider as opposed to you or something like that. You get what I'm saying? There's a bit of needing to be in the middle. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that the things that you are dealing with that or that you wish would change are not going to change. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that this is just holding up kind of like this message of like, hey, Aries, hold on. Let's just be in the middle for a second. Can we do that for a second? Can we just take a chill pill? We don't say that to Aries. Anyway, so the next card is trickery. So trickery. I like this card because it's a card of seeing two perspectives. So, Kelly the Green Dragon has one jumbo-sized acorn to get him through the winter. Squirrel spies the huge acorn and decides he just has to have it to win the forest's annual acorn contest. To tempt Kelly, he fills a basket with rocks and scatters the tiny acorns he has collected on top. Kelly feels the weight of the basket and steals it, allowing Squirrel to grab the single acorn. But they both lose. Kelly now has less food and the squirrel is disqualified from the contest for cheating. During trying times, things may be easier if you ask for help. Don't be disappointed if assistance does not come from the place you expect. Am I afraid to tell the truth? How does that fear make me manipulate others? What do I really need to say? Keywords are vision, honesty, greed, dance of scarcity, coveting possessions, vulnerable heart, self-honesty, accusing others, hidden motives. Notice here that there may be manipulation because of a fear of being rejected. And you got the card of rejection. Bro, I love these cards. Okay, I lost my place. Hold on. Because of fear of being rejected. There is no evil intent, only a deep desire to be loved. This card may also indicate that you should practice asking for your heart's true desire rather than fearing someone else's resentment. Okay, so that kind of like ties into everything that I was saying about like if you're going 100 miles an hour to the extreme, there's almost like a desperation there. Desperation to get to a destination very quickly, desperation to attain this. And it might not seem like desperation. It just might be like, well, I just know what I want and I'm going after it. But deep down there's something else there. Could be a fear of abandonment, fear. Even though we have the fear of rejection here in both of these cards, ultimately rejection means abandonment. So, hold on a second. Because the card of trickery, these are two people who go to extreme means that are like not the right thing to do, because they really want something or need it, when the card specifically says that there is no evil intent. Like even though they did bad actions, the intention wasn't really to be bad. It wasn't to be evil. It was more of deep down wanting to not get rejected, wanting to be loved. So sometimes it looks like on the surface, something looks like on the surface, I can't even speak. Something may look like one thing on the surface, but deep down it could be another thing. Where is it? No longer needing to prove yourself. Yeah, no, and also think about it this way. When we have this kind of desperation or this extreme attitude towards something, it could be this need to prove yourself, which, again, it all ties down to abandonment, because when you prove yourself, you feel worthy, like somebody gives you validation, And okay, but why do we need that? Why do we need to feel that way? Oh, because I feel loved. Okay, great. But why do you need that external, or that thing to change, or that thing to go this way, or that person to feel this way, or that person to do this, or whatever, for you to feel loved? Because ultimately you don't want to be abandoned. You don't want to be left alone. I'm saying, listen, the message is not just for you. The message is for me too. I'm not anyone's Jesus Christ over here. So your outcome with that 8 of Pentacles is focused on, where's your clarifying cards? Yeah, the 9 of Cups. What's the third card? I don't remember the rest. But I feel like there is a focus on kind of like building up the happiness bank. So how you do that for yourself? Man, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. There was something that I saw that I feel like is important, and I feel like it ties into this reading. And it was a woman I saw. She was saying, when we deal with difficult situations, it's how do you choose yourself, but not in a selfish way. Really, this message is more for people who are like people pleasers, not people who are looking after themselves all the time and they only care about themselves. I'm not talking about these people. And really, those people don't even watch tarot, to be honest. Yes, it is. So for people who are like people pleasers, people who overly understand another person, or have too much empathy and compassion for others, and want to keep the peace, they themselves overanalyze everything, maybe even shift the blame to themselves, which is a form of trying to control the situation. So the message is more for these people. When you're faced with a difficult situation in a relationship, it's about how do you choose yourself? Because if you're the type of person that very easily sacrifices everything for the other person, and you're feeling burnt out, you're feeling left out, you're feeling neglected, then the message is, what are you doing for you? How are you choosing yourself? Because when we face difficult situations in relationships, the underlying thing is because we want to be chosen. So how do you choose yourself? When it's a difficult situation in regards to work, the message there is, how do we make ourselves feel secure? So in a relationship, like in a romantic relationship, is how do we choose ourselves? In a work situation is, how do we make ourselves feel secure? So it's all about bringing it back to, what do I do for myself, as opposed to being dependent on everything that's outside. There was another one. She said family, like if it's a difficult situation with family, that has to do with, I don't remember. I don't even remember if I saved the video. I need to write it down because it was really good. Family. I don't remember. And I don't want to think of something and that's not what it is. But anyway, at least those two are pretty important. So Aries, I'm going to leave it there. And I think I have, I don't even, what time is it? Yes, I have time to move on to Taurus. So if you have Taurus, dealing with a Taurus, or you just want to hang out, check me in the next video that I'll be doing. So if it resonated, let me know down in the comments down below. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.